today we're going to add text and finish up our postage stamp. Before we do that, I want to look at a finished stamp so we can get an idea of what this text will look like and where it should be placed. So across the top we'll have the name of our subject, and this font is called Air Conditioner, and it works really nicely for this particular project, and I'll show you how to get that if you don't already have that on your computer. And then we'll have USA First Class Forever on the left hand side to make this look like an authentic postage stamp. All right, so to find out if you have air conditioner, activate your type tool, and you can either pull this down and search for it, or you can type it in, and if you have it, it will pop up just like that. Okay, now if you don't have air conditioner, there's two things you can do. First, I put it in your My Connect module resources so you can get it there. But I do want to show you dafont.com because it's a place where you can go to get lots of free fonts. And some of them are really nice. Some of them are kind of crazy and you might not use them, but Air Conditioner is an example of a font that's very nice, really well done, and you can get it for free. So you just type in, you can search by type of font, by the way, all these up here, you can, if you're not sure what you want, or if you know the name, you can type in the name, and if it's there, it'll show up just like this. And to get this onto your computer, click on Download, and then choose a place for it to go. I'll just put it on the desktop. It'll also show up down here. I think for most of you guys on your computers, it'll show up down here. So what you can do is just double click right there. And then you'll see an open folder. A lot of you guys have this view, so you'll see a folder like this. So this has already been unzipped, and you can see that right here. So click it down on the folder, and you're looking for the TTF file. If you double click on that TTF file, you'll get a screen that looks like this, and you just want to click Install Font. And then sometimes you'll get this message, so you just check on the one you want. And it says there was one minor problem found. Proceed with caution. Usually that's not an issue, so go ahead and check on it and say install checked. And when you do that, the next time you are in Photoshop or Microsoft Word or whatever program that uses text, you might have to get off of the type tool, then go back on it to activate it. But you should see your font now in the list. Okay, so I'm going to type this guy's name, and I will just keep it on the blue that I have here for my background. That's fine for right now. And I'm going to, and it's actually showing more of a turquoise color, so I'll just grab that. Okay, and I'm going to type in the name of my animal here, which is Hedgehog. And this is in all caps, so if we go back to our example, notice this is in all caps. So I'm going to hit my cap locks and type in the name of my animal. So Hedgehog. And accept. Okay. And then I'm going to pull out a guideline right on the edge of my stamp right there. I think I have snap on. Yes. So let me take that off and get that situated right on the edge of my stamp right there. Okay, and that'll help me with placement of this. So Hedgehog, Command T, and I want to start it right on that edge and bring it down to the stamp, but I don't want it touching. I want it close but not touching. And then I'm going to hold Shift and make it as big as I can to go to that outer edge. Right there. Okay, so that looks really good. At this point, I could change the color if I wanted to, but I might do that in the end. And this color actually looks really nice. It matches everything nicely, so I might just stick with that. Okay, so the next thing we want to type in is USA First Class Forever. And we're going to use Arial for this. So while on the type tool again, I want to go to pure black which is 6 O's. And that changed my hedgehog, but don't worry, that's because I was on it. We can change that later. And then we're going to go to Arial, but I do need to get off my hedgehog before I switch to Arial. So let me get off of that layer and then go to Arial. And then I'm just going to type this up here. And again, I'm keeping cap locks on. And USA first class forever. And accept. Okay, and then Command T, let's move this down. And we need to turn it 90 degrees. So you want to move your cursor outside of your text and start turning it and hold Shift, and Shift will snap it right at 90 degrees. And we can pull guidelines out for this as well. So I'll pull a guideline to the bottom of my stamp right there. And instead of to the top of my stamp, I'm going to pull this one out to the top of where it says hedgehog. And just move that in a little bit closer to my stamp. I want it close, remember, but not touching. And accept. All right, you'll notice on our example stamp that forever is bold. So we're going to take care of that right now. What you want to do is you want to select the word forever, go up to your font style and get off of Arial and go to Arial Black. Once you've done that, you might need to transform again just to get this to fit a little bit better. And get it lined up right there. Okay, so that is it. Just check your layers, make sure everything is labeled properly. You have your base, your stamp. Your stamp has 2 layer styles, an inner shadow and a drop shadow. You have your photo with a layer mask, your photo effect with a layer mask, and that should be at 50% opacity. And then you have your 2 type layers. One thing I'm going to do before I save and submit this is I want to decide on a color for hedgehog. If you'll remember on the example stamp, that color was not black. You could use black if you wanted to, but it's nice sometimes to grab a color from within your image or to match it to the background. At this point, you could also change this base color if you wanted to. But I kind of like this. This turquoise blue matches with the background of my hedgehog. And then this is also a nice muted blue, and it looks really good with the turquoise blue. So I'm going to Command H so I can see what that looks like with those things shut off. And now that I'm happy with it, I'm going to save it and submit.